this? It's the Honda Stream.
A tilting free-wheeled bike, the concept being that the free wheels provide low-speed stability and the motorcycle-style leaning main body enables the rider to capably corner at speed. The bike has a 49cc forced air fan-cooled two-stroke motor. The seat height is 26 inches. The choke is automatic and a 12-volt DC electrical system powers the lights, indicators, electric starter, brake lights and horn. The dry weight of the bike is 74 kilograms or just over 11.5 stone. The Stream has two storage compartments, an unlockable glove box and a lockable front bonnet panel. Although to be honest, neither really provide much useful storage space. The seat is unlocked using the ignition key, which means if you lose it, you're in a whole world of hurt because under that seat is the fuel tank and the posi oil reservoir. To access the engine, you need to undo this screw and a couple of screws behind here to remove the side panel.
One of the challenges with this bike is that there isn't an awful lot of legroom. I'm 5'4" and have very short legs, and I've only just sort of got enough leg clearance here between here and the glove box. If you had longer legs than me or were taller, you may well struggle with this seating position. The bike has a parking brake, so instead of using a kickstand or a centre stand, you just use this parking brake. You just release it here. Oh, that nearly got me. And you can see it can tilt around and you're ready to go. Simply pull this back up and the bike's locked again. This bike is a little bit unique in that it has a slight issue with the ignition, a loose connection probably, or something like that. But when you put the keys on, you have to just give it on. See, there's no lights coming on. You just give it a little jiggle. There we go. And then the lights are on and she's ready to go. Now, in order to start the bike, I have to pull in the brake and then press the starter, which is going to be interesting with one hand. Let's give it a go. Actually, I wonder if I can use my knee. Result.
But undoubtedly this bike's party piece and what gets the most puzzled looks from passers-by is the main body tilt when cornering. The Stream actually feels very sturdy when you're cornering, and according to the bike's previous owner, it is impossible to tip over. Believe me, he tried. So let's find out a bit more about this very unique bike's history.
In the late 1970s and early 80s, there seemed to be a thing about making free-wheeled personal transportation solutions. Some I can think of are the Sinclair C5, the BSA Aerial Free, and of course this Honda Stream, which I'm sat on now. Now, all these free bikes have one thing in common, and that's that they were all complete commercial disasters. Sinclair vehicles went bankrupt on the back of some terrible reviews and a terribly not well thought out design. A lot of people believe the BSA Aerial Free to have been responsible for the collapse of one of Britain's best and greatest motorcycle manufacturers, BSA. And the Honda, no, they didn't go bankrupt, but they certainly didn't sell as many units as they'd hoped, and production was stopped after about 2 years. The Honda Stream is a close relative of the BSA Aerial Free. In fact, it was designed by the same guy, George Wallace. On the collapse of BSA, George Wallace managed to keep hold of all his patents and design items. He wondered whether it would be an idea to try and flog these to some other manufacturers, and he contacted Yamaha, Kawasaki and Honda. All three companies were interested and decided to make their way over to England to explore further, but ultimately it was Honda that decided to plump with the free-wheeled tilting design. Honda asked Wallace for a licence, but he declined and instead offered to sell him his entire company, including all the patents. Honda agreed and he sold it for £200,000. Now, that is a lot of money, but in the equivalent money today, that's just under 1.3 million. That's a cracking payday for Wallace.
In 1982, George Wallace was introduced to the Honda Stream, and whilst he liked the styling, he didn't like the design changes that Honda had made. He felt that the centre track on the rear wheels was too narrow, which he believed would make the bike unstable at higher speeds. He also felt the luggage capacity was inadequate and that the bike overall was too wobbly to ride. Bit awkward, I suppose, but presumably now aged 79 and having already made a mint from selling his designs to Honda, I dare say he was not that bothered about it all anyway.
About this Honda Stream is the seat is incredibly comfortable. Most of my old mopeds, I'm not going to lie, feel like you're sitting on a breeze block. This is heavenly in comparison. Although I'm not using the brakes very often, when I do, I'm tending to favour the back brake. The front brake is just very skittish. Probably something to do with the free-wheel configuration, I guess. The brakes overall are good on this though. It's been raining all day and the sun's only just come out. It's lovely. In a minute when the road opens up, we'll do a speed test. Here we go, let's see what she can do against the wind. Come on, Streamy! 25. Still at 25. We'll see what you do on the way back, eh? That is the top line there. And she stalled. God, no. Okay. No, don't do this. Let's try again. Come on, let's go. Come on. You can do it. Keep going. Right, let's see how fast we can go with the wind behind us. 25. Oh, yes. 27. Are we going to get 30? No. I reckon that's what, 28? What a laugh. That said, she really is a very comfortable ride. I could ride all day on this little thing. I thought I felt something on my knee. regardless. It's just such an easy ride, this bike though. I made it back, hurrah! I love this little bike. It just dies as soon as you apply the brake. What a bike though. This bike is utterly bonkers, but I'm madly, hopelessly and truly in love with it. I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and please do like, share and subscribe if you want to see more.